were already in the first one, and now you're in more of the mentor. So I can see where the doing, the physical just doing for the matter of doing and being the pioneer, the trailblazer, the one that's like doing for the sake of just being so active. You have like a zillion things on the go, and I get that. I'm totally into that. I dig that. But now you're into the 10 more so than the 1, because it is still a 1 at the base, so you're still going to be in the do mode, but you're more in the mentor stage now. It's like, hey, listen, this is, I've been there, this has happened to me, and I'm going to share what I know, and I'm still going to do and make all these, like, have a zillion things on my plate at any given time, but I'm going to teach you at the same time. I'm going to show you what I've learned thus far. And so you're in a high change energy right now, though, which means that every single energy in your existence, like relationships, career, location, the whole 9 yards are going to be tweaked at least. That's at the very least. So some of them might get a major change, but some of them might just get a tweak. So it just depends, but they're all going to be touched. They're all going to be touched by some kind of change, for sure.
Wow.
And I want to say as well, you're lacking the soul plane members. And you have isolated 3, isolated 9, which means that you're misunderstood. So only people close to you would really get you, because you're very emotional, but no one would know that. Only the people closest to you would know that. You're very physical-based or physical-oriented in the sense that you're a doer, and that's your kind of your, like, go-to place. That is your place where you feel safe, and only certain people can get into that emotional space because you keep people at arm's length. So you have a lot of great ideas, but do you share them often? Probably not. And do you let a lot of people into your stratosphere? Probably not. But you're super sensitive and super emotional and super all of those things, but no one really knows.
I got to cut you off 1 second, because you're absolutely right. It is very hard to get her into your inner circle. I had to beg her to be co-host on this show.
Very private, yes, very much so. But, she's phenomenal in the sense that she is so tuned in to everything and everyone. She just doesn't share it because for fear of being misunderstood, and there's a lot of fear factor there with that. And it's just really, I'd love to work with you, River, and, just privately, but I definitely think that, you have so much to share, especially with the physical and the soulful stuff, but you can't go there, it's hard. And I get it. I totally get it, because I'm a pure 3, and we're supposed to be empaths, and we're misunderstood, too. So I totally get that, too. So totally get you, but I just can't explain it to other people.
That's okay.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what I'm saying, right?
I do. Yep, and I'd work with you anytime privately.
Yeah, really. We should have virtual coffee sometime.
Love to.
Yes.
All right.
And on that note, River, why don't you take us out of this first hour on the D.T.M. Wicked Radio Network?
You just did, babe.
What's the show? What are they listening to?
Just listening to the Paranormal Lounge on D.T.M. Wicked Radio.
Well, no, hold on a second. You got to do that again, because last week you did it all sexy. You drove everybody crazy, and today you just kind of rushed through it. That's like Welcome back. I'm psychic medium Chris George, and joined by River Wildfire Moon and Victor the Voice Herman. We are the Paranormal Lounge, and we are kicking back, having a good time. I'm drinking beer and moonshine. River's half crocked already. I don't even want to tell you what she's drinking. Victor's doing the show naked as usual. Michelle Arbo, listen, I don't know what she's doing because we don't have her picture here, but from what I hear and psychically speaking, I hear she's naked too. I'm not going to go there, though, so forget I even said that. We are so happy to have...
that if you want.
Well, listen, but only if we're on Skype together. I mean, really.
Not on Skype, just for real. I mean, virtually. We'll talk about that virtually.
Okay, I like virtually. So anyway, Michelle has graced us with her presence this week and pretty much saved us because we didn't have a guest, and she's come on doing some amazing numerology readings for our listeners, and we thank her for that. And why don't we just get into it? The first person coming back from the break is Laura. Now, Laura is my Twitter friend, and she's been blasting our show out on Twitter all day, which is awesome of her to do. And
bless
you,
River.
Thank
you. So, Laura
River, put your clothes back on. You're catching cold, please.
Laura's birthday is 12/8/65. Wow, her birthday's the day before mine. I'm 12/9. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So 12/8/65.
Okay, so you're the Hitler one. Okay, so I knew there had to be at least one of them that would be Hitler. Let's just see. Yes. So but you know what? Hitler had such a sweet side, and people didn't see that side. And like I was saying before, he was artistic, and he was known to be compassionate to animals. So there is a flip side to the 32/5, but there's also the other side, which when they're in the negative, they're very controlling and dominating. So they can be to that extreme. I mean, that's really extreme. But they do have a flip-floppy essence to them where they have this codependence, independence in relationships. So they'll go from codependence to independence and wanting to be separate, wanting to be together, and inseparable, and wanting to be together again. So they have this energy that just kind of flip-flops. But 5 is a number of freedom of expression. It's a number of the heart and emotions. So a lot of 5s are very loving, very compassionate people. They usually have home and family as one of the things that is very important to them. But you're definitely looking at a lot of guiding energy because you have an 11 as your gift. And if you add your month and your day, it shows you what your gift is. And if you reduce it down, it shows you what it is that you're here to do. And you're 5, which is the number of expression. But what is the expression? And that is the gift of being the guide. And it's in a way that is all about inspiration. So it's about inspiring other people to really pursue what they want to do and be that inspirationalist. So it doesn't matter if you're being the 5 as being an actor, because there's a lot of people who are the expressive artists, they call it. The 5 is the expressive artist. So you would be the one that would express yourself through that 5 energy and not necessarily be the creative artist. You're the expressive artist. So that's really what it's all about. The 5 is all about that. Let me just see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19. So you're in like a double 1. Let me just see right here. So 1, 2, 8, 1, 9, 6, 5. Oh, wow. So you're like the natural counselor. Very much so. You have all the soul plane members. So you really are like the mediator, the one that can really get in there and help other people emotionally and be the natural counselor. Not necessarily for yourself, but for other people for sure. That's kind of the downside to having that gift, is that you really can't do it for yourself, but you can do it for other people. Oh, wow, you've been through a lot. Oh, wow. Okay, so you are right now smack dab in the middle of foundation shifting, big time, like turning the page into a new chapter, into a new energy. You are totally kind of changing gears from being like, oh, here we go again, because you've been in like a live and learn energy for quite some time. You've been in an 11 too, which is like self-reflective. So you're really like looking at what was inside of me rather than what was outside of me. And so it was like nothing, it felt like there was no progress in terms of your life, but now there is, and there's going to be. And if you don't feel it yet, there will be, because it's definitely that energy right now.
Thank you very much for that. I just want to say, you had mentioned that Hitler was very artistic. I happen to know as a fact, I've studied this, that Hitler was a great painter. He could paint an entire house in one afternoon, 2 coats.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And he was also compassionate to the animals. But look at what he did in retrospect. I mean, wow, that's like quite a contrast, right?
That was a joke, by the way, but that's Mel Brooks. That was actually...
It isn't a joke. No, it isn't a joke in the sense that he was a great painter. I mean, I know you were talking about painting a house, but, he definitely was a painter. No, he really was. He definitely had an artistic flair to him, and he also was compassionate to animals. But look on the flip side. I mean, that's crazy, right? That's extreme.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, River. Why don't you give the next one?
Okay, who do we have next, boys? I don't want to make a mistake.
The next one is Karen, Miss Karen.
Okay, we have Karen, and Karen's birthday is 3/20/59, Michelle. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I'm going to hear that again. Yep.
So we're looking at another 11 here, and definitely top-heavy 11. So being called to post, I don't even have to look at anything else to know that this person is being called to post, because the guides, the master guides, like the master numbers, the 10, 11, 22, and 33, they're all being called to post right now. So they're all being in this, well, I guess they're being propelled into this energy that says, wait a second, what I've been doing isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, and what am I supposed to be doing? And so they're kind of questioning what it is that they're supposed to be doing, and it's now. I mean, the timing is now for them to really step into their path and their purpose. 5, 6, 8. And again, this, I'm telling you, it's crazy. There are only 2 other people. I don't know how many readings I've done tonight, but only 2, I think, of the whole bunch was something other than personal year 4. And again, we have another personal year 4. And what's the chances of that? It's like lottery statistics, right? And again, we have another personal year 4. Of all these readings we've done, there are only like 2 that don't have that. And so this person also has a personal year 4, which means that it's all about foundation shifting, because they're getting ready to step into their path and their purpose. So whatever it is that they're focused on, whatever it is that they're doing, it is all about stepping into their path and their purpose. And looking at their chart, the other chart, let's just see, 6. Yes, absolutely. So you're entering a guiding energy, 11 too. So you are an 11 that is stepping into a peak of 11, which is all about guiding other people, being the mentor in the sense that you're the spiritual guide, though. And, whatever it is that you're doing has to be deeper than money. It's more about the worldly things, the things that are going to change society or change mankind or change, things on a global level. So I don't know what you're doing now or whatever it is that you're focusing on, but that's really where it's at right now. Planning, strategic type energies. You have the arrow of determination, also the arrow of the planner, which means that you all of the sticky notes and all that stuff.
Karen is going to be the next United Nations ambassador for the United States. Karen, that's it. You're going to be the next UN ambassador. Listen, Michelle, our friend Myra in the chat room has a question.
Sure.
She wants to know: is it possible to bring forth past life birthdays into a new life?
I truly believe that we have reincarnation, and every time I look at someone's karmic numbers, and the karmic numbers are through their name. So we haven't done that tonight, but definitely karmic energies are there. And when I changed my name, for example, I thought I had a hard time doing that. But my professional name now really matches what I'm supposed to be doing, which is a 7. It's all about sharing truth with other people, sharing that energy of truth. And so 99.999% of the time when I look at people in terms of karmic debt or karmic energy, it really does resonate. And I've had people who, mother, father, son, daughter, for example, having karmic number 6 missing. And that means that they all have relationship challenges. So maybe that family went through divorce, or they went through some kind of, parting of ways, or, that kind of thing. So it's always very, very accurate in the sense that karmic energy does exist. And it is possible, I think, to bring through the karmic energies. I don't know about the date of birth per se, but I do know that the name energy, our name is no coincidence. And I think that we feel like our parents slapped a name on us and called it a day. But I don't think that that is the case. I think that we do have some sort of order to what we're being called, and everything happens for a reason. We know that. And names are always really, really, really important when it comes to numerology.
That is fascinating. I never even thought of that aspect until you brought it up, Michelle. I'm fascinated by that. Thanks. So go ahead, Chris.
We have Tiffany next, and Tiffany's birthday is 9/2/79.
Ow, ow!
Multiple 9s. Ouch. Okay, so we've got arrow, frustration, isolated